Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, guys. I have just come back from a holiday, so I thought I'm a little bit late on recording, and I was going to record when I was away, but you know what? Oh, there's no signal. I know I'm away, but I still like to, because it was raining a couple of days, and I do like to have some signal, and it's good for the kids to have a little bit of Wi-Fi. But it was fine. I was getting on it now and again, so I thought I'll just wait till I get home, and it's 9 hours it's took, but we've been stopping and starting. Put the wash on, put most things away. There's a few things, but there's no major rushes there, like putting things away. Because sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, where I like to just get everything clean and tidy, maidens on, dryers on, all the towels. The towels was not drying when we was away. And then I realised it was central heating, but I didn't think to put it on because it was summer. But it wasn't as hot as last year, so it's a Perranporth, which is in Cornwall. So we did so many days at his mum's in Exeter, and then we had that week at Cornwall. So we did that last year. Really wanted to go again, see the Seaside Squad. So he absolutely loves it, and he's just, he's lived and breathed arcades, the Seaside Squad, meet and greets. We did Build-A-Bear. We met a lovely couple on holiday with their children. And they just gelled together, so it's just been amazing. So we did pizza last night, and we went in the bar and we watched one of the shows. And you know what, just to see the children loving it. And because when you've got children with SEN, it doesn't matter what age they are, and they're just getting up there. And you know what, there's no judgment, because a lot of the people there was a few older children with some additional needs, but there was also a lot of younger children. So I think people get it. There's no judgment. It's not like when you're abroad and kids are looking at each other, because we know it's like 15-year-olds are quite moody and they don't want to be doing things because it's not the in thing. But my son loves it, and he's like, can we go again? I'm like, what if you don't like it next year? But he absolutely loves it, and he's just spent a fortune as usual. You know what it's like. So yeah, it's been great. We didn't actually sunbathe on a beach. We've got all our beach things. We took them with us. I've worked all year to lose all this weight. I thought, right, I'm getting on the beach this year. I'm not going to be covering up. I'm going to feel comfortable. And I didn't get to show my beach body off yet. So anyway, I just got home and my husband said, let's get on the scales. He put an ounce on, and I put £2 on. But I think that's because he's made me get on the scales. He's like, let's just have a look. Just because I was saying, I've had pizza, I've had chips. And usually I've got quite strong food suppression, so I'm not really thinking about food a lot. But this week I thought, what, I'm going to try and eat, and because I've been eating more, I felt alright eating. So yeah, anyway, it's only a couple of pounds, and a lot of it for women is water weight, and you dew on, and so I'll give myself some grace. There's no point going mad. What I did miss was my treadmill, my morning routine, so I'm looking forward to getting on the treadmill in the morning. I'm looking forward to getting back into a routine. I know it might sound really strange, but I don't know. It was really cold on the first day, and I went swimming. I was cold, and then we checked in. And as we were driving up, I was in the shop in the queue getting some snacks and whatnot. And I started thinking about my nan. I just burst out crying. And when I got in the car, literally just as we were pulling up, I felt super homesick. I was missing my mum, and I just started thinking about nan. I thought, where's this coming from? But I think because I was really cold in the pool, and you feel tired, and you've been travelling. And it was really emotional before we came. I'll come back to that. And so everything was just and you haven't got your needs met when you're away, and I've already been away from home, and I just like my things, and I'm in my safe space at home. So when the day last Wednesday when we actually came together to Devon, we had an hospital appointment for Harrison, and we thought it was a routine appointment, like a follow-up from the genetics. And so in 2018, Harrison had a genetics tests just to make sure, like, why has he got this delay and why has he got these problems, and nothing came up, and they asked us to do one. So I was like, yeah, do you know what, we might as well do it, do a study, put our DNA together. Didn't think anything of it. Then went to this appointment. Well, she's like, we found something. I was like, what? And she's like, well, my heart sunk for once, like for one thing, because I thought it was going to be something really bad, but it was there. So obviously I thought, surely they're not going to, give us bad news like that. And he said, we found something's flagged up. It's a new genetic thing. I'll just pause this and I'll just read it out to you. What they did in 2022, I think they've only just told us now, because I think they had to be certain, because it's quite rare. So they did a whole genome sequencing, which is called WGS, as a trial of us in 2022. It was like a reanalysis, and it's identified an altered MSL2 gene, so it's likely to cause Harrison's features and his difficulties. And it says, and it's also saying that this genetic alteration is absent, so we don't have it. So this has come as part of when it was created in the womb. It's obviously when you're made. It's just happened then, but we've never knew what it were. But I always knew there was something, but I just thought it's just a global delay. But I think a lot of autistic children with difficulties, there's going to be something that will not show up now, but later on. But what they found out, there's 24 other children around the world, nothing in the UK yet, and he's matched with these children. And some of Harrison's features, and a lot of them have blonde hair, blue eyes, even though my husband's got blue eyes, but we haven't got the blonde hair. Some of the like dark feet, like eye under the feet, like under his eyes. I mean, I think a lot of children do have this, but it's can be a bit dark, sometimes quite a pale complexion. But when you look at the other children, if you look at this gene online, you can kind of see. So it's like a high forehead, but I don't think it's that big, the forehead. But when you look at these other children, you can actually see it. So there's a lot to it. You can look it up at MSL2 gene, and it is, because I've been looking at all these different investigations for ADD, ADHD. So what happens in all these 24 other children? So like Harrison's 25, they've matched the sequence of each other. So that's how they've actually come up with the name. Obviously, whoever's discovered it, as they've come up with this name. But I was feeling really guilty, thinking I'd probably give it him, and and it's not come from any of us. And then you kind of feel guilty, but I wouldn't change him for the world. He is what he is. Because there's days where you won't think there's anything wrong with him, then there's days, because to us he's just normal, but then there's days intellectually, there's things, and he's struggling, he's behind, but he's independent in other ways, because he's obviously, we see the progression. But yeah, so it was a bit of a shock, really gobsmacked, dumbfounded, and I went straight back to pack the case. I was late packing, chucking everything in the car. We were just 4 hours drive to his mum's. We were sat there I can't believe they found something. And she was things that can in the future could be epilepsy and kidney problems and heart problems. There's only one case per out of them all. There's 3 children that one has problems with the kidneys, but up to now everything's fine. So a lot of the intellectual disabilities. So it's all these hypermobility is his speech has always been quite good with things, but it's, how to articulate, or looking at, for a 15-year-old knows, we know, we were ready to go out around town, we were going to town, we were doing all sorts of, I know I was at 15, but he can't do that. It's very much in a childlike world, but this is because of this missing gene. So, and this is for his coordination difficulties, and it just says people with the gene alteration are more likely to have ADHD and other neurobehavioural differences, because he's got hypermobility. So it's the connective tissues that are more common in people with this genetic alteration. So it's quite a unique thing, that's only so many people with it. So yeah, so it says the exact DNA spelling has only been seen in 4 individuals, and there's only 4 of them children. The features look the same, like you would in Downs. We all know what a Downs child looks like, but they're all different. And there's other difficulties out there that if you look online, I mean, if you're not in the world of SEN, you won't understand what I'm talking about. But I've done a lot of research about genetics. I used to think he had Marfan syndrome because he's got long body and long arms, and now I know it's because of this gene, but we didn't know about this. So it's kind of a relief, because when people say to me now, what's wrong with him? I'm like, actually, he's got a genetic condition, do you know? So it's kind of, it's bittersweet in a way, because we can actually say, yeah, he's got a genetic, condition. This is why he's like this. And I've obviously, that on that day, I messaged emailed the head. So she's like, right, I'm going to research, because obviously she's never heard of it, and we'll adapt to his EHC plan, and it's going to be amazing for him as he gets older, if he needs any financial help, and he's not going to be pressured into going to work, because he's not going to be able to work at 16, because he's still going to be at school. So financially, and the things that he needs on his education and healthcare plan, we're going to be able to get more money and get more help for it if he needs things, because his developmental delay is quite behind. And he just gravitates towards a lot of younger children, only because of what the children are into. But he's also growing up in, his puberty started, and he talks a lot older, and he's understanding sex, because we was in the room. So one thing she did say, and then he got a bit embarrassed, so he can pass this on if he ever got married and had children. So obviously he can have IVF, so we talk about that, and sperm, and he was like, that's so embarrassing, because he's not stupid. So he went and laid on the bed, he was like, I'm not listening to this. So I said it wasn't really the right place. So she said that is an option in the future, you don't have to, but because if he obviously can pass that on, there might be some difficulties with the child. So it's his preference. I don't think anything's going to be happening anytime soon, because he's not going to be at that age to go meet people and get married like we were going them, we were sexually active, when we're a bit younger, and he's not going to be ready for anything like that, because he's not really going to understand it, and there's going to be a lot of boundaries that need to be put in place, and his vulnerabilities, I do worry that, someone doesn't, even men, lads can be taken advantage of, and he's a bit easy led sometimes, so I've got to be careful. So we talk about boundaries quite a lot. So I have talked to him about this gene, and so it's trying to understand him, but I don't want to think there's anything wrong with him, because he's special. It is what it is. But at least we've got a diagnosis. So the one thing they did say was, so if you want more children, there's nothing going to stop you. Because one of the things was we're going to have more children, but because my husband's 10 years older, and we thought it could be a lot anyway having more children straight away, because he needed a lot of support. But then I thought we could have another child with additional needs. It's going to be hard doing different schools, because obviously he goes to a specialist school, and then we leave it longer. And then I was like, what should we do? And then he's nearly 15. I think if my husband was 40, or same as me, we would probably have another. So it looked at us, and he's like, I want to retire. So, but he does, now we know it's this, he's gonna need more. And do you know what it is? We can really understand him more. And there's a lot of biases, people, and you get the older generation. And my nan was not, I won't say my nan was ignorant, but my nan was like, why does he do that? And why does he stim and things like that? But I wish now she would, I wish I could tell her, and she would understand. But it's really funny, because on that day that I got to the haven, I just felt so sad that I missed her so much, and I just burst out crying. You've got a lump in your throat, but you don't really want to spoil somebody's holiday. That night I had a dream, and I was crying in my sleep, and then she was there, and she cuddled me, so I felt really good. So it was I felt better then. And it's funny, isn't it, because I feel so away from her, because I feel like I've got everything here, and I've got some of her ashes, and then my mum's not here, so I felt like that cord cut. And it sounds really, at my age, but I'm really close to my mum, and my mum lives on my street, and my dad, and so we've got a close family, and we see each other, and there's just been a lot going on. My auntie's been in hospital, and she's just come out, she's had sepsis, and so she's trying to get herself better, and it's just emotions, isn't there, all around, and everybody's just going through different things. And then when this just put everything into perspective, having this diagnosis, I was like, wow, I'm still not we're still processing it. We still need to sit down and look at everything. And I actually found a support group on Facebook, and there was a couple of people in it. So I was like, I'm going to have to do one. But somebody let me in, and I said, we've just been diagnosed today. And it gave other people in that group hope, because their children's 3 and 1, because obviously they must have been quite severe, because I didn't really know till Harrison was at school, and my childminder thought he had dyspraxia. So we kind of thought it was just that. Then it was is it autism? Is it this? So they did say it will have characteristics of autism and ADHD, because one day it's fine, one day it's an ADHD day. So you're like, oh. So, and then it's so confusing all the time. So this gene is, every day it's choosing what personality, what it wants to choose. So Anyway, I've lost where I was thinking then. So yeah, I'm not firing everything at you, but I just wanted to really share it with you. Like, I put it on Facebook, and yeah, it just felt like my boy is so special. I knew he was special. Or looking at biases of people. There's been family members that we don't get why he flaps, don't get why he's like that, because we do. We subconsciously, like, we try not to judge people. If you've got a child that hasn't got any additional needs, you're not even in that world, so you're not going to think of that. But I've had, having a deaf family, I've always been in that diverse world. I've always been around a lot of people with disabilities, and that's just me. I've got friends with children with SEN, so for me, it wasn't, I wouldn't choose, I wouldn't swap anything. I wouldn't want to be a moody teenager. I love him. We've got him longer, as in, like, we like doing, like, we've been to Haven, we've done fun things. We haven't had much of a holiday, as in, it's not been like a sunbathing holiday, but it's made us closer, together, because we have to be there for him. And yeah, it just get a bit ruined and spoiled. But I think you do overcompensate when you've got, a child with additional needs. I think you kind of feel a bit guilty sometimes. I do. I think, it's such a big world out there. I mean, in a way, he doesn't really get what's going on in the world and all the horrible things that go on. But we still need to protect him, and you do feel a little bit sorry. And then, do you know what? He's in the best school possible, and the staff and everyone is so amazing at that school, and they just have the whole heart of everybody, and all them, the ethos of the school is incredible, and the way they help children thrive and become independent learners and individuals, because they get them ready for work and college. And we've got functioning, like, it's like a little flat with, they learn to cook and make beds and things, because that's what they need to know. But they might not be very good at academic things. They might be someone good at music, but Harry probably won't be really good at all the academic side, but he'll probably focus on the IT and the computers, because he loves that. He's good at singing, and so he'll find this year in year 10, he's going to find his options and what he's going to do. But yeah, it'll just make him thrive. But he will be good independently, and he's able to do, wash and do things. So anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick update. So I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do about tea. I've no food in. I've got food in, but I've no fresh food. So I'm going to maybe order some food. My mum got me some milk. And yeah, I can't look at another pizza or another fish and chips again. So for a long, long time. So, but yeah, I'm back now, ready for Love Island. So yeah. So anyway, that's my cue. I can hear me shouting, Mum. You probably hear him in the background, because they've been upstairs, and I thought, you know what? And I don't know if it's shower. I don't know what they're doing. I thought, I'm going to record it tonight and just give you a little update. But I'm back on it next week, and I've got some new guests lined up for September. I've had another win, a lovely lady who got my masterclass, or if you see it on my socials, she's published a book. It's coming tomorrow, and it's all about vibrations and manifesting. So I'm super excited to promote that for her as well, Laura. So go and have a look on my socials, go and have a look. I've been putting lots of pictures, or if you like Haven, if you don't like Haven, don't go and look. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, lots of wins this week. So it's been I've not been working, but I've sold quite a few of my courses this week, like my self-publishing and podcasting. So I didn't know, obviously this is a great thing. What I teach people is how to make money while I'm away. So obviously I'm self-employed, I don't get paid when I'm away, I'm not in the salon. But I sold some courses, which was really good. And I've put an offer on for a 1-to-1. So it's £88 at the minute. And I'm going to put it in my linktree, but it is on my socials. Actually, I'll put it in here. So it's a bit of a landing page. So if you're just looking at booking a 1-to-1 with me, thinking of something like, do I want to do a book? What do I want to do? Do I want to create a podcast, for when the kids go back? Just something for you. We can just do an hour of strategy and just throw some ideas together, get a bit of a plan, and how we can utilise Canva and our social media marketing. And I'm starting my social media marketing course. My friend's already started it, so I think mine said the 1st, so that'll be exciting. So I'm just waiting to hear from the college, but it's worked out quite well, because I think Monday is when it will start, so it is online. So I just wanted to do something. So it's just exciting, because I've got digital products, and obviously I create digital products, but it is good to know different things. Obviously I've got to keep updating, because, I work in my salon, but also I've got to keep updated with all the online world. We're all younger, and so I feel like I do quite well, considering I've self-taught myself everything I need to know. So yeah, everything's in there, and yeah, I sold a couple of books as well. Sold a couple of my journals and my manifesting books. So yeah, it's been good. So really positive. I'm really in a good positive place. I think everything's just like coming together now, and I know everything what's going on with Harrison. I can kind of just chill a little bit. So anyway, I gotta go because he's coming back to find me. So anyway, have a great weekend. Whatever you're doing, send me a message. Come and connect on my socials, Lindsay Williams. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, happy manifesting, and I will see you soon. Bye. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my linktree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together. It's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.